And now we'd like to welcome history teacher Howard Krug to the show. Hey, Howard, how are you doing?
Welcome.
Eagles. Back. Eagles all the way. Eagles. Come on. Right. I'm tired of seeing Tom Brady, right? That's the NBA, right?
No.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Okay. Hey, today we're here to talk about a serious issue. Fred Korematsu. Probably never heard of him, have you?
I have not.
No, a lot of people haven't. But yesterday was Fred Korematsu Day, January 30th of every year in California. They make it annual Fred Korematsu Day. And he stands for educating to advance racial equality, social justice, and human rights for all.
Cool.
But we've never heard of him.
No.
But you did hear of this.
Yeah.
This is Pearl Harbor. And this was a bombing of Pearl Harbor by the Japanese. You know the date, year?
41?
December 7th.
Yes.
December 7th, 1941. And the next day, we declared war on the Japanese.
Wow.
And then shortly after that, Italy and Germany. So let's move right along. 3 months later, we said, hey, the Japanese attacked us without provocation. It was a secret attack. They surprised us, right, on Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Messed up, right? So the President and Congress got together and they signed an executive order 9066 in 1942. And this said, the military commanders whom he may from time to time designate, the President, whomsoever designated, shall deem necessary take an action that's necessary and desirable, to prescribe military areas in such places and such extent as they choose. Now get this, okay, so they're choosing what to do with people. Why would they do that? Well, this is why they do it. They want to take any and all persons may be excluded. Excluded means to take away or to remove. To remove, yeah. Yep. So they're going to remove somebody. Who would they remove? Oh my, this doesn't sound good, does it? And with respect to which the right of any person to enter, remain, or leave shall be subject to whatever restrictions. So it's restricted to the Secretary of War. So what does this mean? Something real simple. That anyone deemed a threat to the military were forced to go someplace, and they were told where to go.
Wow.
So these are people of Japanese descent. It didn't matter whether you were born here, you immigrated here, or your parents or grandparents came here. It didn't matter. You were told to get on the train, and so
going
left.
someplace, right?
That's right. Look at what they left. They had to sell their businesses cheaply. Students had to leave their schools, leave their friends.
Wow.
Did this happen to the German and Italians?
No.
No, just the Japanese. So keep that in mind. 3, many families were forced to live in military barracks with no privacy. Now, I know, Sam, you've been in the military.
Yeah,
right?
I lived in a barracks just like that.
You get a lot of privacy?
No.
No.
There's a bunch of beds.
Yep.
No privacy. They had to build homes in these.
Wow.
Okay? And notice, please, what do you see
It's
there?
like a fence with a
Fence.
tower.
Right.
Yeah.
A tower. Well, what do you think's up in the tower there in TV land as you look at this picture?
Someone would have
A
gone.
guard.
Maybe.
Guard. That's right. They were forced to go out there. And the sad thing is, many of them were moved to the deserts of Arizona, into Texas, into New Mexico, and they were told to start farming.
Who farms in a
The
desert?
desert.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Not very much. So Mr. Korematsu decides to read the U.S. Constitution, and he sues the United States. It went all the way to the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court.
He believed the U.S. government violated his 4th and 14th Amendment rights. So basically that means the 4th Amendment, they can't search and seize without, without due process.
Right.
Yep.
They have to have a warrant. 14th means if you did it to us, you have to do it to everybody else, the German and Italians,
And they
because
didn't
we're
do that.
fighting
They
them.
didn't,
They didn't. Okay? So the question before this was, before the court, did the President and Congress go beyond their war powers by implementing the exclusion and restricting the rights of Americans of Japanese descent? Remember, it didn't matter whether they were born here or not. So what did the Supreme Court decide? Sad to say, the government held that the need to protect against espionage or secret attacks outweighed Korematsu's right. Justice Black argued that the compulsory exclusion, though constitutionally it doesn't seem quite right, was justified because of emergency and peril.
Wow.
One thing we learn is during time of war, we have no rights. The government can take necessary actions to protect us. And they might not be in the Constitution, but they can do it anyway. So what happened? 6 months, 110,000 people were removed from their homes, their businesses. The Japanese had to spend 2.5 years in the camps. And in 1988, under the Civil Liberties Act, they gave them 40,000, those who had survived. But that was it.
Yeah.
You lost your home, you lost your business, you lost everything.
He lived in a camp for 2.5 years.
And you get 40,000. A lot of people said, hey, that's fair. No, it wasn't.
No.
Minnie died without ever seeing any money. So that's why we honor Fred Korematsu. And I call him a silent person because his daughter found out about him while she was reading a history textbook.
Wow.
No kidding.
In high school in Detroit. She came home and she said, Dad, we learned about a Korematsu versus the United States today. Was that you?
Wow.
And he said, yeah, it was me.
Wow.
And he pulls out from the closet,
Yeah.
pulls it out, and starts telling her about it.
Wow.
Ordinary people like you and me can make a difference in this world, in this country. Fred Korematsu wasn't a famous person, but he stood up for the rights, and because he stood up for the rights, we honor him, especially in California,
Sure.
and once a year. And maybe we need to honor him, remember a little
Well,
bit
Howard,
about
I'm
him.
going to
TV
remember
Land.
him for sure.
Please do, because he's important, because without him, you know, our rights, and it's you and me.
Well, we'd like to thank Howard for being here tonight. Stay right there. We'll be back in a minute. Thanks again, Howard.
Thanks,
Thank
Howard.
you. Thank you very much.